Now here's a question. Why did this terror attack take place in Austria? The Islamic world is angry with France. They're apparently upset about the Prophet's cartoons. But Austria is not France, and Austria did not publish any cartoons. So why was it attacked? Because three men who call themselves leaders of their countries and of the Islamic faith have set in motion a very dangerous cycle. They've given moral legitimacy to violence in the name of religion. They've justified attacks, and now it has taken its own life. We've been saying this from day one. The statements of Turkey's President Erdoğan, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, and Malaysia's former PM Mahathir Mohamad are not just irresponsible and distasteful, they're downright dangerous. Unfortunately, we have proof now of how dangerous they are. The hatred they glorified has now claimed lives. Listen to what the Austrian Chancellor said today.
In the meantime, it has been confirmed that yesterday's attack was clearly an Islamist terrorist attack. It was an attack of hatred. Hatred for our basic values, hatred for our way of life, hatred for our democracy, where all people are equal in rights and dignity.
It was an attack of hatred, says Sebastian Kurz. Hatred for Austria's basic values, hatred for its way of life, and hatred for its democracy. Does this sound familiar to you? This is exactly what France is suffering, hatred being peddled as religious duty by some. Leaders like Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, Imran Khan and Mahathir Mohamad have unleashed a deluge of hateful and bigoted statements against Europe. Their remarks almost always include violent metaphors and vilifying rhetoric against Europe. Let me take you back to what we've been reporting and what they've been saying. On the 28th of October, the Turkish president was outraged over Charlie Hebdo's cartoons. Do you know how he responded? He declared the enemies of Turkey to be the enemies of Islam. He made the two synonymous. He then accused the whole of Europe of trying to launch a crusade against Islam. He said the Turkish people will not look the other way. You must listen to the president.
They literally
want to relaunch the Crusades. Since the Crusades, the seeds of evil and hatred have started falling on these lands, and that's when peace was disrupted. Will we renounce our honor for them? Will we look the other way because of them? Some might be able to do that. But the Turkish people cannot take an immoral approach in the face of any attack on their faith and values.
Do you know what happened next? Some 50 young men of Turkish descent went on a rampage at a Catholic church in Vienna shouting Allahu Akbar. This happened just 2 days after the Turkish president made the statement. And in those 2 days, another Islamic leader parroted Erdogan's views. He openly encouraged killing. I'm talking about the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mahathir bin Mohamad. He unleashed a Twitter storm for demonizing rhetoric. Mahathir Mohamad said, Muslims have a right to be angry and to kill millions of French people for the massacres of the past. He said Muslims have the right to punish the French, that even a boycott cannot compensate the wrongs committed by the French for all these years. He said irrespective of what the religion professed, angry people kill. He endorsed murder. These are the words of a former Prime Minister. Then we come to a current Prime Minister, Imran Khan. He called the crackdown on extremism Islamophobia. He wrote to leaders of Muslim nations asking them to unite. Not once did he condemn the brutal acts of terror. Instead, he gave a free run to extremists to stage demonstrations against France. Demonstrations that looked like war drills. Protesters beheaded and burnt effigies of Emmanuel Macron. They called for his death. They vowed to send him to hell. Listen to what a cleric said at one such demonstration in Karachi.
हमारे आका मौला सल्लल्लाहु ताला अलैहि वसल्लम जो वजह तख्लीक कायनात हैं उनकी शान में बेअदबी की गई है हमसे ये बर्दाश्त नहीं है बेशक हुकूमत की जिम्मेदारी है कि वो गुस्ताख को वासिले जहन्नम करे वरना हुजूर के गुलाम इंशाअल्लाह जरूर उसको वासिले जहन्नम करेंगे.
And if you think that's too much, then take a look at this. This is from a school in Pakistan, a madarsa, a teacher carrying out a mock beheading in front of her students. This was a training session to kill those who insult Prophet Muhammad. This is what young Pakistani girls are being taught in school. And in Europe, Islamic terrorists are putting these methods to use. They're beheading teachers and churchgoers. They're stabbing policemen, attacking churches and synagogues. From Paris to Nice to Vienna, some of the most peaceful European cities have come under attack. A cartoon has become an excuse for them to kill, and Islamic leaders are accusing Europe of launching a crusade against Islam. How many Muslims living in France and Vienna have been targeted by the governments in these countries? Last we checked, none. If there's anybody who wants a crusade, it is these Islamic leaders. Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, Mahathir Mohamad and Imran Khan Dr, all three of them have been giving moral support to terrorists by justifying violence. They deserve all the blame for the spate of terror attacks. There may not be any legal consequences for their words, but they should face diplomatic consequences. The world must ensure that these men are not allowed to whip up hate and channel violent prejudice. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. The world is one.